Hello. Thank you very much for having me. As mentioned, I'm Thomas with a Z. So, and we'll be breezing through a couple of slides, learning more about how you can supercharge your NFTs using something that's a decentralized knowledge graph. And I'd really appreciate a clicker, but I don't have one. So I'll try to search real quick. And, sorry, can I get a clicker? It's in the middle, there you go. All right. So what we do at OriginTrail, we're focusing on organizing assets. When I say organizing assets, I mean we're making them discoverable, we're making them verifiable, and we're making them valuable. And we're going to see real quick how that applies for the NFTs. But when we're talking about assets, we really talk about more things. So the assets can be physical or they can be digital. And we've kind of, all these things require the same three characteristics. All of those things require, any asset requires to be discovered, to be verified, and at the end of the day, that's what makes it also valuable. So what we're doing is we're moving from physical to digital, and as we create these data points, we're moving those data points to assets. And how are we achieving that? Well, by bridging the Web 2 data silos and unveiling or enabling the new semantic Web 3. So just a quick overview in terms of the technical architecture where we sit. OriginTrail Decentralized Knowledge Graph is a middleware, so it's not a blockchain. It's rather it's a peer-to-peer decentralized network that connects to multiple blockchains. So currently you have their Ethereum, XDAI, Polygon, and Polkadot coming soon, and is able to interact and connect with multiple even legacy systems. So picture it as a middleware. It consists of two things. One is blockchains. Blockchains are perceived as trust networks, and they're awesome. They're awesome for things like tamper-proof shared ledger. They're great for identities. They're great for tokenizing stuff and transacting it, and to do cool stuff like decentralized finance. On the other hand, we have knowledge graphs, who are also awesome. Knowledge graphs are stuff that's been used by large, giant tech companies like Google, like Facebook. They're for mapping out either World Wide Web, or mapping up user behavior, or mapping out product things as Amazon. But the important thing is that knowledge graphs observe things, and not strings, which means the knowledge graphs focus on meaning. And it's really cool, because when the machine accesses a knowledge graph, it can understand what it's actually looking at. So what we've done is we've put these two things together, created a knowledge graph that's overlaid over a decentralized network. And we've done that quite a few time ago. So that was 2018 when the network was launched. Today it has 2,200 nodes globally. It's a fully permissionless network. And what we like to think of is that what for Amazon were books, for us are supply chains. So today you would have over 40% of US importers, as an example, utilizing OriginTrail to exchange audit report data on over 22,000 factories overseas in Asia, mostly. Next to that, Swiss Federal Railways uses it, over 15 projects in Europe. So like supply chains are something that really understand the value of having a knowledge graph in a decentralized context. But we're here for NFTs, because very, very similar challenges that are perceived by supply chains are also very much visible in the Web 3 or the NFT space. We have discoverability issues. We were just chatting about them here before as well. So in terms of how can you look into multiple places, figuring out what's going on, cross-chain visibility is a thing that kind of would be nice to have from out of the box. Discoverability, something that we really like and focus on, is a challenge in this space, and as it was in the Web 2. Cross-chain I mentioned. So you have, the one thing also is that you have very limited and raw data that's available. Whatever's associated and can really fit in a blockchain is very limited. And the rest is usually either stored centrally so that it's actually performant, or is stored in a decentralized storage, but it's very, very hard to use because it doesn't have any type of database properties. And data persistence as well, so how do you ensure that whatever you store and the NFT and the associated data that you have doesn't just vanish at some point and you're left with 42 characters in your hand and not much else. And sometimes it can be clunky. So what we're doing is supercharging the metaverse by protecting, connecting, and evolving NFTs. When we say protect, you have the data persistence, you have the data longevity. When we say connect, you can make powerful connections between either your NFTs, between certain search items that you think are important to be connected to your NFTs, or even other assets that you think should be connected. And you can make very powerful queries. So it's a database. It's a very performant database that you can get data out of. And then evolving. So NFT, in our perspective, isn't really something that's just going to be there and stay like that forever, but rather your experiences in metaverse or physical world, your experiences with either transacting with it or using it in any shape or form is something that adds value to the NFT itself. So when 20 years down the line you're going to give it to your kid or you're going to sell it on, you're going to have a powerful knowledge graph that's going to be added to your NFT versus just a raw token in your hand. And that's it. With that, you're growing value. It's basically something that multiple stakeholders can interact and utilize. So you'll have either creators, marketplaces, metaverses. As you build smart contracts, all of those things could either publish, they can query, or they can verify using a OriginTrail decentralized knowledge graph. And to finish off, you can see all of this stuff in action here in New York as well. We have a booth set up in the Edison Hotel where you can come. You can claim your Tracy. So there's 500 Tracies as NFTs that we're giving out. And if you're super lucky, you're going to get one of those, I think around 30 or 40 we have that are printed on a t-shirt like this, so you can take a t-shirt home as well. And more importantly, if you're super, super, super lucky, you can get this one, which is one of one, and I've worn it now, so I'm going to have to take it off. I don't know what's going to be wearing home. But it might happen. We never know. I'm betting against it. But you can also supercharge it. So we'll walk you through how you can really protect your NFT by giving it that data longevity, by giving it that discoverability, how you can connect it to other stuff, and how you can evolve it in the future. So you're going to be ending up with very, very flexible stuff that you can use to build on. It's an open source platform. It's an open source protocol to be used. The network's live. So we're really excited to chat with anyone that kind of sees the vision of the world in a similar way that we do. Trace on. Thank you very much. I think I'm going there.